Hello everyone, this is Alex Brown, Mr. Brown. I'm going to talk about the Dice class. So it's just a little class here. I modified basically a little bit, but it's originally from the Lewis and Loftus Java Software Solutions 5th edition. So taking a look at the Dice class, here's our Dice class. Now we have our instance variables here, private int face value. Just holds the value of a normal die between 1 and 6. We can make a more complicated Dice class, but we're just going to start with that. Now let's take a look at the constructor. As you notice, I don't have any parameters in the constructor. This is called a default constructor. So we see default constructors in things like the random class, a couple other classes that we've studied where you don't actually need a parameter to construct it. So this is the default constructor. So now we could just set the face value equal to 4 as suggested by this funny cartoon from XKCD, get random number, return 4. Chosen by a fair dice roll, guaranteed to be random. But obviously, hopefully you get the joke there. Then they'll always start at 4. So instead, we're going to do we're going to learn two things. First, we'll keep it like that. We could do a 0. We could do a couple of different things, but let's just start. I'll do it just to 0 because that's something more. Now, although that's technically not a allowed value. So maybe at the very least we should put 1. Now let's take a look at this next method, a simple roll method that changes the face value to a random number between 1 and 6 and returns it. So is this a getter, is this a setter? Yes, it's actually both a getter and a setter, right? So it's a roll method that's going to return an int, okay? But it's also this is really sparse, so I'm gonna separate this out a little bit. But basically, I'm going to set. I could do a getter and setter for both of those. We'll do that in a second. So basically, this part is just a fancier way to do getting a random number between 1 and 6. Yes. So, and that's going to set it to the face value, and then you're going to return that face value. That's what's going on there. And then we could stop there, but the two main home take-home message, one is that a method can both set something, right, and return something. So it can be a getter and a setter, so to speak. Getters and setters are technically just, when they're named that way. But basically it can both get and set something. Now, one last little cool above and beyond kind of thing is instead of setting it to 1, what if I wanted to set it to a random number right from the start? I could copy that and put it in there, but instead I can call a method in the constructor. Sometimes different reasons you want to do that. Maybe it takes some computing. You don't want to set just a particular value, but there you go. So again, this is the constructor, and so it's a nifty little trick there. Hopefully that was helpful.